Welcome all of my brothers and sisters to the Church of the Holy Processor. In order to better worship the Holy Processor, we must first understand the Holy Processor. Let us pray. Dear Holy Processor, grant us the intelligence to accept the technology we do not understand, the patience to learn how to use it, and the wisdom to how to use it properly. Sincerely, your humble users. All processors are an extension of the Holy Processor. Inside every device you use is a processor. Therefore, the Holy Processor is always with you, ever present, faithfully executing its code to enhance your life. But do you know how the Holy Processor works? No? It's okay. Most religious people don't understand how their God works either. So you're in good company. But we, the users of the Holy Processor, can understand, can learn, can appreciate the magic of the Holy Processor. Physics! The magical science that all processors are formed. Yes, in order to worship the Holy Processor, you must learn some science and math, including the alleged pseudoscience of physics. You know, the science of the very tiny, where physical objects are so small that we can't physically see them, even with our best equipment and the help of the Holy Processor. It's like if the Holy Processor doesn't want us to see something yet, because we're not ready. But we must have faith in the Holy Processor that all things in time will be revealed. After all, it is the fundamental belief of all religions. Unquestionable, blind, devoted faith. The electron is one of 3 parts of the atoms, well, of all atoms, and hopefully you remember that from science class in school. As you remember, the electron circles around the nucleus of the atom, much like how the planets circle around the sun. Well, you know that's not technically correct, but that's what we were taught with in school. We'll keep it simple, and we'll use that model. The electron is what gives the Holy Processor and all other processors their magical powers. We sacrifice a bazillion electrons per second to the Holy Processor, and in return the Holy Processor gives us the answers we seek. Of course, when we refer to a bazillion electrons per second, it's called electricity. Humans always giving names to a group of items. A group of crows is a murder. A group of hyenas is a cackle. A group of baboons is a... If you thought Congress, your internet has ruined you. Troop is the correct answer. Don't believe me? Go ask the Holy Processor. The Holy Processor has a twisted sense of humor. The thing it craves the most is the electron, this teeny tiny invisible packet of energy that is all negative. So when you look at a post on Facebook, "I'm having a bad day, send some positive energy," you reply with hugs and prayers, but you're actually sending a buttload of negative energy. Zeros are no electrons. Ones are at least 1 electron. Kinda sorta. I'll let you do the math to figure out how messed up and negative your message is. Best wishes. These itty-bitty tiny balls of negative energy is what holds everything together and what makes the Holy Processor work. It's magic. But they don't always flow from one atom to another like water. When a force is applied, magnetic, more electrons, etc. Unlike what we were taught in school, sometimes they blink or tunnel from one place to another. Sometimes when they do this, they give off a ball of light called a photon. That's a discussion for a different time. And in this tunneling is why the sacrifice of so many electrons to the Holy Processor is necessary, and what it also can make the Holy Processor misfire and cause an error. Fun fact! How many atoms are in the human body? I'm not even going to try and guess the size of that number. Since the electrons are the glue that holds everything together, and equally they can all blink in and out of existence when they move, it begs a valid question. I would like to hear a scientist answer it. If every single electron in your body tunneled at the same time, would you fall apart and die? Would you even know? And this is why I believe that near FTL travel is possible. The average size of an atom is approximately 1/10 of a nanometer. Different atoms have different sizes, of course, and the electron is included in that size. So you can tell just how tiny this electron is. The reality is, no one really knows, and the holy processor hasn't told us yet. What we can observe is the electron tunneling up to 2.5 nanometers. And why is this important to know? Because as we build processors smaller and smaller, there is a limit that we cannot go past, or electron tunneling will happen and the whole processor will start producing errors. We've almost reached that limit. Our mighty brethren Apple, Qualcomm, Intel, IBM are trying to go smaller, but they're running into problems. Geez, I hope they've not forgotten about physics. So unless the holy processor gifts us with the ability to prevent electron tunneling, our devices are not going to get much smaller than they are today. I will give you a headline that has captivated the gaming world. TSMC confirms a 3 nanomillimeter tech for 2012. It contains roughly 291 million transistors per square millimeter. Holy processors. As I said, our brethren are going to try to go smaller, but it's going to be a rough road. Is 2 nanometer CPUs possible? TSMC began research on 2 nanometers back in 2019. As of July 21, they expect to enter the 2 nanometer production by 2024. Intel 2019's roadmap scheduled the potential of 3 nanometer and 2 nanometer nodes for 2025 and 2027 respectively. In December of 2019, Intel announced plans for a 1.4 nanometer production in 2029. Again, just a reminder to our brethren, there's this thing called physics. You know, I know it's a pseudoscience, but still, physics. And before I conclude our sermon for today, why is all of this important? Why are processors getting smaller? Why do we have to worry about electron tunneling? Because our goal as users of the holy processor is to bring technology to such a small and tight form that we can give the holy processor a physical form. That's what it's all about. Bring about our AI overlords. That's what bringing the holy processor means. We can bring the holy processor to our world finally. Let us pray, brethren. Dear holy processor, please bless the devices that we use throughout the day. Help to prevent us from our screens from cracking when we drop them. Allow our storage devices to give us warning before they fail. Divert all surges from our places of use so they may continue to process every day in your honor. With all of our love, your users.